Welcome back to the Proper Football Podcast, where every week we're going to give you the updates, news, and announcements of all things football. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. We're going to talk about the EPL, some games in there, and the fight for the top four, I guess you can say, and the title. We'll talk about Serie A, Champions League. I mean, there's so much to talk about. But before we get into any of that, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's super important, and it lets us know that you're liking the content that we're putting out. So like, share, subscribe, and also leave your comments in the comment section. If you're watching this on the audio versions of the podcast streaming platforms, give us a 5-star review, leave a comment, and share with your friends. So I guess we'll get right into it with the EPL newscast with some of the EPL games that happened. We had the early kickoff, first game, one of the biggest games. Man City and Liverpool, 1-1 draw. Burnley fall to West Ham at home, 2-1. West Ham gets the win. Luton gets a surprise win against Crystal Palace at home, 2-1.
Their first win.
Their first win of the season. Wow, things are getting spicy in the relegation zone. Chelsea have a tough time at St. James Park by losing 4-1 to Newcastle. And Nottingham Forest cannot get a win against Brighton. They lose 2-3 at home.
All right, we have Sheffield United versus Bournemouth. They lose 3-1. We have Brentford versus Arsenal. Arsenal take it 1-0. We have Spurs and Aston Villa. Aston Villa wins 2-1. We have Everton and United. United come up with a clean sheet 3-0. And Garnacho scores an amazing goal.
Outrageous.
Yeah, so that was a beautiful, fantastic goal. And Fulham wins against Wolves 3-2.
Interesting stuff, man. A bunch of, surprises and some blowouts, some close games. I guess we'll talk about one of the biggest games. Everything kind of focused around this game, City versus Liverpool. So Liverpool go to the Etihad, and they pull up with a draw, 1-1. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a bad result. As a Liverpool fan, I expect a lot more because I understand, what they can do. But, I mean, you take the positives out the game, and it's not a bad result, I guess. You're coming against Man City, treble winners, but, take 1 point. And I got to agree with Klopp. I mean, he said it was an okay game. And that's how I felt about the game.
Yeah, especially a team like Liverpool that's rebuilding, kind of in the rebuilding stage, losing a lot of players, pretty much your whole midfield, Mane, Bobby Firmino. For me, I would say this more feels like a win than a draw for Liverpool because you're playing against the Champions League winners, the best team in the world. The team that won the Premier League last year, and you come up with a draw against with a team that might not be up to par as far as talent-wise. You guys have some injuries. I think you guys played well, and it was more of like a tactical battle, like a game planning thing. Who can outsmart who as far as coaching? So
as far as playing style, first half I didn't think Liverpool played the best. Second half was a different story. They played better second half. But first half, what I've noticed was Jeremy Doku, causing problems on the left-hand side against Trent. And, Trent, as much as I like him, teams are starting to understand, he's the weak link. Mm-hmm. And you would think Tsimikas...
Right.
Being the guy that doesn't get much game time, they'll be like, all right, let's play on that side. No, they're playing on the side, a side that a guy plays week in and week out. And I think that's a part of his game that he needs to improve in, and he knows that.
Yeah, he knows that. And I think Klopp knows that because if you saw, they were forced, like Doku, you know how he plays, very direct, straight, one-on-one. I think he has one of the most take-ons in the league. When you match up the minutes. But you can see Trent was like, all right, come this way. You come this way. To kind of force him one way, either inside or outside. It's going to be a team game. And I think that's a great way to defend someone like that because that's not someone you want to defend one-on-one all game.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get City on a on a fast track to start scoring. So I think the game plan worked well. It did take away from some of their attacking abilities. You saw Szoboszlai having to help out a lot, Salah having to drop in a little bit to help out with those defensive frailties, I guess you can say, from Trent. But hey, for a 1-1 draw, you take a point against the champions is not bad. And Klopp and Pep, I think they felt the same.
Yeah. 6 combined EPL league titles between the two teams. Liverpool taking 1 and City obviously taking 5.
That's pretty even.
Yeah, but
fair play to you guys, because you guys are really the only ones giving them proper competition. I know Arsenal came up a little close last year, but it's nothing compared to Liverpool really putting up a fight till the last match.
Yeah, I mean, what I can remember, there was one time City had to play against Brighton until the last day. They had to go get that win.
Aston Villa.
No, I think it was Brighton. They beat Brighton like 5-1 or something like that.
Wasn't there another game?
Yeah, there was probably another game too, but
no, I'm saying another year.
Yeah, another year.
See what I'm talking?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened that year, but all I know is there's been 2 years that Liverpool came short 1 point, and I would say Liverpool's been the team to, push Man City and make Man City better as well.
Right.
I gotta say though, one thing that actually concerns me too is Alisson and his ability on the ball. I think he's better when he's trying to boot out a ball to somebody, for a breakaway. But the ball on his feet is a scary thing, and that's how City got to score a goal too. Actually, no, matter of fact, I lied. He tried to boot out the ball, and he didn't do it properly.
He slipped or something, didn't he?
I don't know if he slipped or whatever, but regardless of the point, he messed up.
Right.
And there was a couple times, Curtis Jones passing the ball back to him, which I thought was a little bit dangerous.
That was a scary moment.
And, like I said, Alisson not good on his feet, and he's going to give the ball away. Oh, and Foden, the first one, he gave it to Foden, and Foden almost, made something out of it.
Yeah. And that's the difference. I still think Alisson's the best goalie in the world right now, despite all his mistakes on the feet, which we are well aware of. But that's the difference between Ederson's comfortability on the ball and Alisson, because you can see on the other side, Ederson, he doesn't get the ball much, but when he gets it, it's poised, it's comfortable, it's confident. And that's something Alisson has to take away. I know he got a little injury. He's going to be out for a week or two. Klopp has confirmed, but I don't know. It's kind of scary. It seemed like he was getting saves rather than making the saves. I know the first goal probably could have been a save up to his standards, and maybe getting a little lucky with the VAR or the referee. Do you think that was a penalty or not?
What are you talking about?
Not a penalty, a foul on Alisson, like what Ruben Diaz.
I mean, regardless, if a player's jumping on top of a goalkeeper, it's a foul. It looked weak. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it looked weak.
I agree.
But you don't do that to the goalkeeper because it's gonna get called back.
Right.
But Alisson messes up. Haaland turns up. He finishes, and he becomes the fastest player to score 50 goals in an EPL. And it took what was it? Andy Cole, 17 more games to reach that. But not only that, Haaland, fastest player to score 50 goals in the Bundesliga. Fastest player to score 40 goals in Champions League.
He's already in the top 20 for Champions League.
And look at that, bro. He's not stopping anytime soon. And he's playing for one of the best teams in the world. And never mind if he ends up leaving and goes to Real Madrid and links up with Jude Bellingham, which he's going off.
He scored again today.
Yeah, he did.
the guy's outrageous. But this is not a Jude Bellingham
you know
show.
where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
He's one of the best forwards in the world, and it's hard to contain the guy, He's going to probably get a goal each game. And if he doesn't, you did a good job.
And that's the thing. The standards for him are so incredibly high. We're expecting 35, 40 goals a game in the league from him, which we really haven't seen from anybody. Nobody. He broke the record last year.
Yeah.
Like this year, he's breaking more records. 50 goals in 48 matches in the EPL. Like you said, 17 earlier than Andy Cole.
He was a good striker too.
He's phenomenal. He's a legend in the EPL. But Haaland, he's gonna go down no matter how long he stays in the EPL. I think he'll always be. I don't know.
You think he'll be deemed as top 3 strikers?
It's tough.
He would have to be.
It really depends.
If you break a record, you gotta be up there, bro.
But Luis Suarez broke a record.
I feel
consider him top 3. It really depends on how long he stays in the EPL.
If you talk about season, all right, that's different. But when you talk about like the time there, that could be a different conversation as well.
Right. When I think about top 3 EPL all time, I think I have to put longevity, performances, not just one season. Because if I just look at one season, maybe Luis Suarez had the best season ever. Missing, 7 games and still scoring 31, 32 goals?
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, his numbers were crazy that year. Yeah.
It's going to come down to longevity. If he stays there 5 seasons, I think he can really come into the conversation with the top strikers ever in the EPL.
Yeah.
And 5 years isn't a lot
But you got to be honest, though. He's probably been the best to play in the EPL.
Yeah, I would say the best striker I've seen in the EPL.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's outrageous. But it wasn't. I mean, I thought it would be a little bit more into the game, a little bit more excitement. But like I said, it was more of a tactical game plan, a clash between the two managers, who can outsmart who, which they've been trying to do for years.
Yeah, there was, at some points, Trent did come in the middle, but he was more so wide, and I think that was just because how everything was jam-packed in the middle. But first half, not the best play from Liverpool.
What are your thoughts on McAllister, bro? He's still playing in the 6. Did you see him really perform well, or is he a little struggling, or just maybe out of position?
I think he played pretty good, but obviously that's not the spot where he needs to be at. And I think he's doing good for a guy that's playing out of position. And regardless if he's not doing the best of his ability, you gotta commend him. Yo, you're doing this for this time, man.
Yeah.
While Liverpool's on the look for a new defensive midfielder, so I'm happy with his performance. And like I said, first half wasn't the best for Liverpool, but going on to the second half, I was happy about the performance. Gakpo coming in, Diaz coming in, they look pretty good. Jota having to come off because now he may have a few weeks off because of injury.
It said it might be even a little bit longer than that.
See, now that disappoints me, man. I mean, the guy's been doing good. He gets injured, he got to come back. It's the inconsistency, but that's why we have options.
That is true, bro. And speaking of that midfield, I really think you guys have a lot of potential. I know you guys need a center defensive mid. You guys probably try to get Endo, see if you can fill in that gap. Might not be working out right now. But if you look at that core midfield, that Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister, that's a good rotation right there. You pick 2 out of 3, either one. Probably McAllister and Szoboszlai, they're more developed, I would say. And then Gravenberch coming off the bench, or if you have to go more attacking, you can put him into the starting lineup. But I think if you find that defensive mid, that'll really solve a lot of your problems, because Van Dijk, despite him getting a little bit up there in age, might have to get replaced in the next few seasons. Konate still looking good.
Van Dijk is doing good.
And he's looking good.
When we talk about tackles and all that other good stuff, he's having one of his best seasons again. But you don't see that because you expect more from Van Dijk. You've seen the best of Van Dijk.
Right.
So now that he's doing good, you can't really see it.
Yeah, 100% right. We're kind of blinded because we're putting the standards so high on someone like that.
Yeah. So that's like Haaland. Imagine Haaland.
Yeah.
He doesn't score the next 2 games.
Imagine he scored 25 goals this season.
Yeah.
We'd be like,
people also say Haaland doesn't show up to the big games. Dude, I mean, if that's the case, at least he's getting his team there, and they're finishing. Yeah. It's a team sport at the end of the day. You get it done as a team, and if he contributes in a different way, then he does it. You know,
if he contributes by taking all the attention to him to give Foden, Bernardo Silva, and Doku more chances,
and that could be the reason why he's not scoring.
Exactly. So people got to put that into account.
Yeah.
Each player is gonna do the best of their abilities for what the resources that they have, and just gotta finish your chances. I mean, Nunez a little quiet. Alvarez was pretty disappointing for me, but always room for improvement. But I think those are the type of players that will change the game for you because Haaland's gonna get man marked. Salah's gonna get a close eye on him. It's these other players like Bernardo Silva. I thought he was unplayable.
That's every game, bro.
That guy, man. If there's anybody to man mark, is that guy because everything runs through him. He's on the right hand. He's on the left wing. He's at left back. He's at this. He's getting the ball at every single place that you can get the ball and making something out of it, making these turns. I was seeing stuff like he's like in a video game.
Yeah, no, I think he's improving his game every year, and it's becoming noticeable.
Yeah.
City don't use any of their subs.
Yep. And it's funny because Pep is the one that kind of advocates for 5 subs. There's too many games. We need more players to rotate. And he doesn't use any of his subs. I mean, I know he was a little depleted.
I really honestly think it's not trusting some of his players. De Bruyne not being there, Kovacic not playing because what just happened recently against Chelsea. It has to be because of that.
No, they said he had an injury. 2 days after he said he got an injury, but
fake injury.
As it might be a cover up.
What was his name? Homeboy that came from Wolves. I forget his name. What happened to him?
He said he got an injury too.
Injury too, huh? Everybody's injured, huh?
Everybody is in trouble and injured.
But I just don't think City have the resources right now. Grealish being out right now,
he was sick or something like that.
I don't know. For me, I don't think City's the same team. But what else can I add to the game? Liverpool used all 5 of their subs, and I gotta say, they came in and they made a difference. Yeah. They kept the tempo.
Yeah,
going.
Gakpo made a great run to make that spacing for Trent, and great finish by Trent. Who else came in the game? Gravenberch, I thought, put some energy into the midfield, get some new legs. Liverpool have depth, and I think this game gave them belief that, we can really go after the title this year. We're in 3rd place and 1 point behind the champions. We can really go make a run. Look at the team we have. We have a brand new team, and we're meshing the best we can, and we're only going to get better from this challenge. Let's go out and win this title. It's going to give them a lot of belief.
Yeah, I think they can. Like I said, as a Liverpool fan, I have high expectations for them because I've seen what they've done in their recent years, and I know even when they weren't at their best in the past, I still knew they were capable of winning certain games. Mm-hmm. And, I think it's anybody's game this season. City, like I said, don't look the same. Liverpool, people will try to count us out, but the guys we brought in, they're doing their job. And Arsenal, Arsenal's probably for me right now, I think Arsenal has the best chance.
Yeah.
On paper, at least.
I still think City is going to pull it out the bag, but it's going to be very tight. It's going to be a 3-horse race this year, I think, and it's gonna get interesting. I just know for sure my team won't be in that conversation.
Yeah, we could leave that for the next topic.
But let us know who you think is gonna win the league this year, and your thoughts on the game, City versus Liverpool. Can't wait till the second half of the season to get the rematch at Anfield.
I was gonna mention how after the game, after the whistle, Nunez went after Pep.
Yeah, what was all that about? I wasn't too sure.
I guess he probably held this in for a while, and there was a time that Pep and City beat us 4-1, and I guess Pep went to Tsimikas. So it was like, you like that goal? Did you like that goal? And that's why Nunez came back and asked him if he liked the goal that we scored. But Klopp stops it. After, you know what I love about it, though? Klopp stops it, and then they asked Pep, what happened there? He goes, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
But you know why he said that? Because he respects Liverpool and Klopp.
Yeah.
Klopp goes on to say he didn't know what was happening. He couldn't even understand. He just wanted them to stop because he loves the both of them.
Yeah, I saw that.
That right there is the dopest thing a manager could say about another manager that's successful and has been winning countless titles.
and not robbing, but kind of taking the title away from you, earning it.
Yep.
Like you said, couple.
He could have been bitter about it and all that, but
and like I said in the beginning, they have a mutual respect for each other. It's been like that since the Bayern Dortmund days.
The Champions Leagues recently.
The
only Champions League they haven't, either one of them didn't go to was the one with PSG and Bayern. That was 2019 and 2020, I believe.
Season, yeah.
But after that, I know Liverpool lost a couple, but they still made it to the final. City, they made it to a couple. They lost one and won one, but that just shows how good these teams have been for this amount of time.
And pushing each other to get even better and leveling up in a sense, and to adapt to anything that's going on. Because if you look at the past 6 years, it's been a fun ride, and it looks like Liverpool are back on that track to put more pressure on City.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so now we're going to transition to the Newcastle and Chelsea game. It finished 4-1.
Why are you laughing? There's nothing to laugh about. We haven't even discussed the game yet.
You know what just came up to mind, bro? All the memes I've been sending you. The dude just talking about Chelsea 4-1, just started laughing, and then the MMA one was Chelsea, one was Newcastle.
That one kind of pissed me off.
Someone was just getting beat on, and we know who that was. That was Chelsea, and disappointing result.
Yo, disappointed. Nothing to hide from, because nothing to say because it was because of this, because of that. Terrible performance. Worst performance this season that I have seen. You know, in the past 51 games for Chelsea, we have a 29%. Yeah. Try to do an episode with a guy. Oh, this is outrageous.
Yo, that's... All right, let's get a little serious.
Trying to give you guys the stats and the information and the announcements. Man. And I got this guy laughing, ridiculing my squad, my team, my club.
That's crazy.
Can we get serious? You want to hear something crazy?
Go ahead.
Past 51 games, 29% win percentage. In the past 25 league games, 5 wins. That's 20% win percentage in the past league. This is a team that spent $1.2 billion.
Yeah, to Chelsea standards, this does not make any sense at all. But it also kind of does make sense because of the purchases that they made and the things that they're doing. You got your captain getting a pointless red card in the game, kicking the ball away, and then following up with a missed kick, and he's trying to pull people back. I mean,
at a time where it's not really needed. You have players already ready to defend. It's not like it's a breakaway and it's a 2v1 situation or something like that where you have to make the foul and take one for the team. We're still in the game at 3-2, I believe, right? Yeah, I think it was...
There was no 3-2, bro. 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, you want more goals, but...
Yeah,
3-1. You didn't have 2 goals.
But all of this stuff starts from the top down. Pochettino's getting suspended for getting stupid yellow cards and getting suspended, having to manage from the stands. You got Nicholas Jackson that got more yellow cards than goal involvements this season. You got Enzo Fernandez who's been there for almost a year now. He got 1 goal involvement in almost a year. That's just outrageous. I mean, it's already bad enough you're going away to Newcastle, St. James Park. Now you're going to go put a performance like this is crazy.
I thought it was the best time for Chelsea to play Newcastle, at least from, the injury aspect, but clearly not. They got guys like Lascelles stepping up, club captain, scoring a goal, actually. He played a great game for me. What was his name, Miley?
Lewis Miley, yeah.
Yeah, Miley, young guy, comes in, assists to Isaac. I thought he played a great game. How'd you feel about him and his recent performance?
I remember the first time I saw him, he actually made his debut against Chelsea last season at the last game of the year which no one was really playing for anything. Newcastle already secured top 4, and Chelsea had a bad season.
So he was like 16 at the time.
I think he was still 17, but he was 16, 17, maybe just turned 17. Had a chance to score in that game. He looked pretty good, came off the bench. And I think he did well. Like, the first goal for Isak, threaded a beautiful through ball. Like, that's not something you're asking a 17-year-old to do, but he's stepping up where his team needs him, where his midfield is very depleted. You got Tonali that got suspended, Longstaff, and all these other guys getting injured or unavailable for the game. And he's stepping up when the team is needed and looking like Xavi out there, man.
Yeah. Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, them two together, great partnership. It's like they look over their shoulders saying that they trust each other because they both can do the same thing in terms of energy. They're going to sprint, given a crazy tackle. They're going to do whatever that needs to be done as a midfielder, and I love that. I love partnerships like that. And as for Chelsea, I can't really see that at the moment. I just feel like there's a lot of individuals that come up to play. And I can't blame them, because they're the ones that's doing their job, as far as Sterling and Gallagher. That's the only people I could sit here and say that been doing good. Yo, Gallagher, I love the guy. He reminds me of like a Jordan Henderson when it comes to energy. He's going to run through you.
A little less technical, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
like he's going to just run through you. He's going to run for everything. And then Sterling, people were trying to count him out, and he's actually getting goals, providing assists, and now scoring free kicks, which we never seen in his career.
A beautiful free kick. Did you see at the end of the game where he was on the bench and he was literally just looking into space and like couldn't even believe what was going on?
Yeah.
Like, look at the teams he's been on. Man City, like this wouldn't happen. And I'm not really talking about losing 4-1. I'm talking about the performance on the pitch, not fighting for your badge. And it was like contenders versus pretenders. Is what I saw in this game. Newcastle fighting for the top 4, looking to get into the Champions League again like they did this year. Depleted with injuries, but people getting called on, and they're making sure they do the job for the squad. Joe Linton and Guimaraes already talked about. Isak stepping up and scoring when Callum Wilson is injured. Gordon, one of the players of the season for Newcastle right now. Everybody played well, and even if they didn't, they played with heart. If you look at Chelsea's team, they're the opposite. They don't have any of these qualities, these championship qualities that a championship team needs to have, and that's why they're sitting in 10th place, and that's why they have nothing to play for, because I think our top 4 chances are over.
I think
we're done over. We're looking at Carabao Cup and FA Cup at this point.
If y'all even make it to the Conference League, that's a blessing right now. This season right now is just what players are going to do the best. You're just trying to figure stuff out because nobody's really doing it. Like, the right wing is a problem. You got Madueke and Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is just looking like a penalty taker, and that's it.
One thing about Cole Palmer, he's just been scoring penalties. He looked very lost in this game, but I do got to say he does play with a little heart, a little edge.
Yeah,
that
a little
I can
bit.
see.
But there's some moments you want a little bit more, and that's just the truth. I think he can do a lot more. There's been recent games he's dribbled people, but then whiffs a shot. But I feel like Chelsea, once they get what's his name Nkunku, like, I hope. Now, what matter of fact, I'm not gonna say I hope, but like, I actually like Nkunku. That's why I say I hope, because he's a great player. I mean, what he did for Leipzig is insane. The numbers that he put up is insane.
Who does he come in for, though?
Dude, he comes in for anybody. Nobody's position is safe on that team besides Gallagher and Raheem Sterling, attacking-wise. So, Nkunku could play up top if he wants. Nkunku could play attacking mid if he wants to. And I think those are his best 2 positions.
Yeah, I mean, based on what I saw on in preseason, was the last time we saw Nkunku. Him and Jackson linking up was very dangerous, so
maybe that could work again.
Maybe that's what Jackson needs, because I don't know. He's just not finishing, the guy. He's just not finishing his chances. Let's be real. He's doing the dirty work. He's running. He's defending when needed to. But Jackson's been disappointed. Enzo's been very disappointing. 1 goal involvement in a year. Are you kidding me?
I never expected a bunch of assists from Enzo. I just thought he was going to bring stability to the team. And first half, I got to give it to him. He played pretty good. Second half, different story. But first half, he hits the post. Oh, no, I keep thinking he hits the post, but Nick Pope.
It's Nick Pope with a great save. And Chelsea helping Newcastle by overpassing that whole play. Came from the left, forgot who was it. Switched it over to Reece James. Reece James could have smashed it instead. No, put in another cross, put it down, give it to Enzo. Enzo takes a nice shot, but at some point you got to be relentless and ruthless and say, hey, listen, Reece James has a bullet on him. Mm-hmm. He can score a goal, and he's got to get that confidence back and say, hey, I'm the captain. I need to set the bar where it needs to be.
He does, because now you give Gusto another chance to show why he should be playing.
That's true.
And for me, he's been an outstanding player this whole season. So now go ahead and give him more minutes.
Yeah, and, with that red card, he's going to be suspended. Reece James is going to be suspended. Chance for Gusto to show up against Brighton. Cucurella's going to be suspended with too many yellows. I don't know who's going to come in.
Now he can't play against his former club.
Oh, he couldn't. Yeah, he can't redeem himself against his former club. Robert Sanchez looking shaky. I'm not sure what he's doing. He don't really come out and play with any confidence. I mean, we can go on and on about individuals, but it's really the team.
It is the team.
That was a very poor performance in the second half, especially.
Yeah, Thiago Silva, I praised him last week, and, this week was different. I believe first half didn't do too bad, but as far as second half, you're giving away simple, giveaways. Like, that's like, here you go. Go ahead, take it. This is, it's pretty much an assist.
You're Brazilian? I got you, brother.
Yeah, right. Imagine. But, yeah, I mean, that all that has to do with fatigue. He's clearly tired because Thiago doesn't do things like that. He's a player with high standards. And, like I said, when you get tired, you do things, and, you and I could probably say the same thing. You do things like you're drunk or something. Like, you're like, yo, bro, I don't even know why I did that.
It's like you look at yourself, you're like, what did I just do? Why did I do that? And, once in a while, I mean, this is the first time I've seen Thiago Silva like this, but like you said, it's coming down to fatigue.
He's had moments like that in Chelsea a lot, but it is what it is.
More often this season than any other season in his career. And, it could be down to, like you said, fatigue, playing too much. I didn't understand why you would start Badiashile here today. Just coming back from injury, just coming back from, international break. When Disasi played fine for me against Man City, played fine.
Badiashile didn't do bad.
He didn't do bad, but, this is creating lack of trust, lack of chemistry in a team. This is a game you need to win.
Yeah.
Where Newcastle's depleted with injuries, this is a team that you need to beat so you can move up on to the table.
Do you think it would have been better if he had started on the bench and at least come in for Thiago Silva in the 60th minute, 65?
Badiashile you're talking about?
Yeah,
I think so. And not only for fatigue reason, but positional-wise, Thiago Silva plays on the left-hand side of the center back. And Disasi's right-footed player. He plays on the right side. Why not keep players where they're used to playing instead of mixing?
Wait, did Colwell come in?
No.
I don't.
Cucurella played the whole game.
I think he may be injured. I'm not too sure.
He was on the bench. Cole was on the bench.
He was?
He's going to have to play next game. And these are players that we have available that have more playing time. And like you said, maybe Badiashile can come off the bench and kind of get a feel of, all right, this is how Disasi and they've used to be teammates before in Monaco. Badiashile and Disasi.
They
so
understand,
they have that chemistry.
Yeah.
But why not have Thiago Silva come off the bench or start and then come off at 60 minutes or so just to manage him? Because we have, FA Cup games and Carabao Cup games that we still want to compete for. Why not have a full squad for those teams? But, it comes down to Pochettino. Is he making the right decisions?
Yep. It's hard to say right now.
I think it's easy. I think the decisions are no because the bad decision. We're in 10th place.
Maybe it could be also just too many options. I think Chelsea, that's been their problem for a long time, having too many options. But I want to give credit to a lot of players, to Newcastle, Mickey playing well. I thought he did well on the wings, coming in, cutting in, dribbling players, assisting Gordon. Gordon coming up with a goal.
Yeah.
And he didn't even start the game, I don't believe.
Who?
Gordon. He came in.
No, he started.
He started?
He started on the left. Isak started up top, and Miggy on the right.
All right. So
They had no one else to start, brother.
Yeah, true that. True. So yeah, he scores. Great goal. I'm understanding why Newcastle put the money down for him, and yeah, he's been doing pretty good, having to share minutes with Harvey Barnes and Lascelles. So, dude played good.
Yeah, that center back, man. He scored that goal, captain of the squad.
And who gave him that ball? Was it? No, it wasn't Trippier. Man, I forget who gave him that ball.
It was someone from the left, though.
Yeah, I forget. But that was I remember the ball itself. It was good. No one marked the guy.
And a proper header.
He was alone, like you said, proper header. You know, it's going to be a goal.
Off a set piece. It
No,
was
it wasn't.
It was designed for him to go up. We're gonna do a special play. You're a center back, but go up real quick. Brighton does this a lot, by the way. Brighton and Brentford. Go up. This is a design play. It looks like it's not a set piece, but we're gonna draw it up as a set piece and go in, and it ended up working. I mean, Chelsea fell asleep, man, and we have some experienced guys back there. Thiago Silva, Reece James, and just couldn't get it done. Ogochukwu looked a little weak,
I thought he played good at moments in the first half.
This is not a game for him to start.
I know.
Play
I understand.
The whole game, man. I mean, this is something that Caicedo comes in. We paid $146 million for the guy, 120 million pounds for Enzo. Let's put these guys to use. I mean, I know he's an international break, but 4 days in between your games with international and in the Premier League is more than enough for someone that we're paying almost $200 million for.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess they got to get back on the drawing board and start understanding, what formations they may have to play, understanding what players may have to start and what players may have to come in on the, start on the bench and come in and maybe make an impact.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of players that are better impact players on the bench. I don't think Chelsea have identified who should really start and who should be on the bench. Like I said, there's only a few guys. Sterling and Gallagher got to start. Enzo pretty much got his spot too. You got to be honest. The guy is not scoring a system, but at times he is dishing balls to players and putting them in good positions.
I think this is a time for Pochettino to rise up and show if he's a proper coach for this team or not. Because
he came in at a tough time, though, man. You got to be honest.
It's a tough time.
This is a tough job.
And he knew what he was walking into. That's why he didn't walk in the middle of the season last season. He decided to wait until the beginning of this season so he can have a full preseason to see his squad. He's had 2-3 months to figure out who should start and who should not. Now it's time to perform and not have the same exact result as last season, sitting in 10th. Because then that's just a waste. We could have just kept Graham Potter for that.
Yeah.
So he's on the hot seat. For me, I'm going to have my eye on Pochettino to see what changes he makes. And what adjustments he needs to make sure that this squad doesn't fall even further behind into the bottom half of the table.
Yep, you're right. And Newcastle, they're inching away. They keep climbing up on the board. And I like, Liverpool on the left side right now and Trippier on the right. Good partnership. Liverpool actually played for Chelsea as a youth player.
I remember Liverpool playing FIFA, and he was always on the reserves.
Imagine that, though. I got to say, Chelsea have come across a lot of good academy players, and they slip away.
Yeah.
And now look at him. He's, a great player. Who knows? Maybe Byrne comes back, and he's not a starter anymore if Liverpool keeps putting in good performances like this.
After a back injury, it's going to take some time for him to actually fully recover, even when he's match fit. So we'll have to see about Byrne and all the other rest of the injuries of everybody coming back. But fair play to Newcastle. They're giving me vibes of Liverpool when they were injury-ridden about 2 or 3 seasons ago, and they made it work. This gives you a huge confidence boost moving in later into the season, knowing that no matter what comes at us, we're going to figure it out. And,
find a way.
And proper congrats to Newcastle because they performed well, and they have a tough run of fixtures coming up pretty soon, but they're gonna have to figure it out like they did against Chelsea.
You're right. So that concludes this side of the episode. 4-1 Newcastle. You seem like a disappointed fan right now.
Disappointed is one of the emotions running through my head and my heart, but yeah. What can you do? That's the life of a Chelsea fan right now. So hopefully we can bounce back against Brighton, but let us know your thoughts on the game. any of your analysis, and if you think Chelsea can bounce back from this horrible, tragic loss. And we can't stop there, folks. We're going to move on to the Champions League, and we can talk about many other games. Matter of fact, let's go through a quick scoreline summary of some of the games that happened this past week. We had Lazio beating Celtic at home 2-0. Shakhtar beating Antwerp 1-0. Antwerp getting a red card. Milan losing to Dortmund 3-1 at home. It's going to be tough for them moving forward. Feyenoord taking a loss at Atletico Madrid 3-1. PSG and Newcastle, what a game that was. They drew at the Parc des Princes 1-1. Barcelona beat Porto 2-1. So getting a win there. At home, Young Boys beat Svetsa. How'd I do that?
You did a good job.
2-0. And Man City come back from 2-0 behind to come back and win the game at home 3-2 against Leipzig. Disappointing loss for Leipzig.
Yep. All right, we got Galatasaray and United. We're actually going to be talking about that in the next segment. Crazy game, 3-3. Sevilla and PSV. It ends 3-2. PSV with the last-minute goal to win. Bayern and Copenhagen. Surprising result for me. 0-0. Yeah. Real Madrid 4-2. Jude Bellingham scores another goal.
And an assist.
I think they said it's his 15th goal of the season.
That's crazy.
You got Real Sociedad and RB Salzburg 0-0. Braga versus Union Bellerin 1-1. Red card for Braga. And Arsenal with the spankage of 6-0.
Spankage?
Yeah. And then you got Benfica and Inter. Benfica with a red card, but surprisingly, they tie the game 3-3.
Bro, Inter came back from 3-0 down to tie that game.
That's
João Mario
nuts.
with a hat trick in the first half.
No, João Mario, that's crazy. I like him, but that's nuts.
That's crazy. But we can talk about any of these games, but we'd be here for 3 or 4 days. So let's focus on one. We can talk about any of them. We're gonna have to focus on the Galatasaray versus Man U. And if there's another game you'd like us to really talk about in the future, let us know in the comments. If you see future games coming up, we would love to give you some content on future games. Put into the comments of what you like for us to cover in the future. But as far as today, it's Galatasaray and Man U.
And I feel like we selected this game based on the importance of this game.
Right.
You know, these two teams were, you know, in third and fourth place, and they were both in need of a win today, and none of them got the result.
They certainly wasn't for a lack of trying. They certainly went out on the front foot. Both teams, we can see it was very open play. Both teams came out and said, you know what, we're gonna need we need a win, so we're gonna need to take some risk defensively and get on the attack. Even before the game started, I saw them going to Galatasaray, and you know, the Turkish fans, especially Galatasaray, they're gonna give you a tough fight. And first thing I saw in the stands before the players walk out, you know how they hold the signs up, said "Welcome to hell." Me as a player, if I'm walking up and I see a mob of fans saying "Welcome to hell," I'm already gonna have a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. I feel like that's part of the reason why they came back, because the crowd got behind them.
The 12th man.
Yeah. And United were up, right? What was the score line? What was it? 1-0? Yeah, it was 1-0.
1-0. Then they were up 2-0.
And then they were up 3-1.
3-1. So we'll go through all of that.
Yeah.
But surprise, Varane on the bench again.
Not a surprise, actually. It seems like the relationship between him and Ten Hag has fallen out, and I don't know why. I don't think it's because of playing ability. He's at the last place of the pecking order right now. You got Maguire and Johnny Evans above him. Clearly, there's something wrong. So I did some digging, and it seems like the Glaciers, they want him to like put him on the bench so they could reduce the wage bill. Dude, you know he's the second highest paid player in United right now. I think his salary is about like £340 a week. It's around there. But there's a rumor that they did the same thing because of Ronaldo. And there's a rumor that they're doing that with Jadon Sancho right now too. Sancho's on like £250. Sheesh. But if anyone's they're trying to get rid of anyone, it should be Martial. He's been there for a long time, and his weekly wage is pretty high.
And he's playing every week. He's coming off the bench.
Recently he's been scoring goals. He scored in the Premier League, and he didn't score this game either, right? No. But I think he's banging in some good performances. But that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. Varane is a well-respected player, and I feel like if that's not the reason, what really is the reason? Because I know he's been injured, and when he comes in, when he comes in, I've seen him score a goal. You know what I'm saying? That was against Wolves, and he does pretty good.
First game of the season?
Yeah. He does pretty good when he plays, but the inconsistency can mess up the flow of the team. But he's better than Maguire, and he's better than Johnny Evans, without a doubt.
A World Cup winner, 4-time Champions League winner, multiple-time La Liga winner, played with some of the greats,
paired up with the great.
Paired up with people like Sergio Ramos, Pepe, played with Ronaldo. I mean, some of the greatest players to ever step foot on this earth. And you're talking about Erik ten Hag coming out and saying, oh, Johnny Evans fits better for tactical reasons.
No, it's all BS, bro.
Come on, bro. This is Rafael Varane, one of the most decorated defenders of all time.
So, also on top of that, I guess he likes certain center backs. If they're playing on the left side, he wants a left footed center back.
Then what is Maguire playing left center back?
No, he's playing right, I believe. I think he's playing right.
Today he played left.
He played left.
Lindelof is right-footed. He played on the right.
No, but I'm saying the left side, he wants a left-footed player. The right side, he wants a right-footed player. I guess Johnny Evans, he could play with both feet.
Oh, my days.
But regardless, bro, Johnny Evans.
35 years old.
Forget about age. Johnny Evans has never been better than Varane in his career. Ever.
That's a fact. That's a true statement.
Maguire's never been better than Varane in his career, even at his best. Bro, Varane is better than all these guys.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's him and Martinez starting. Martinez is injured right now, but if anybody's, Varane and Lindelof should be starting right now. And I don't know what Varane's got to do. I mean, they're thinking about getting rid of him in January, like you were saying, and replacing some other players, but like you said, it's not about age or any of that because
he's 30 years old.
He's 30, but it's not about age because Erik ten Hag was asked about Kobe Mainoo, that young kid that's been playing. Had a pretty good outing last game against Everton. He said, it's not about age. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Well, if you're good enough, why don't you play Rafael Varane? And it might be because
it has to be something behind the scenes,
these
bro.
Speculations that you're saying. So at the end of the day,
because think about it. When Ronaldo was there, when Ten Hag came in, was Ronaldo playing bad? No, he was actually scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah, till this date, he's the second highest goal scorer since Ronaldo came in 2021.
Fam, that's nuts.
Second highest. He hasn't played in a year and a half. A year, I could say.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Galatasaray game because Man U can piss you off if you talk about them.
Good tempo.
Good tempo, man. Both teams had everything to play for. They had to get a win to advance into the highest stages of the group.
Even if they won, the other team would still have a chance.
Well, not really Man U.
Oh yeah,
Man
true.
U lost. That was it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have 4 points. Yeah, that was
because they got a draw. So they would have been stuck at 3. Galatasaray would have been at 7. It would have been it.
True that.
It would have been it. So Man U really needed a win more than anybody, but both teams would like a win. It's gonna be tough. I mean, I saw both teams really going attacking, high press and very open. Surprisingly, players like Antony, I think, did really well. They were able to do the dribbles in the right areas of the pitch, not really turn backwards and play backwards, make the right passes. I was really surprised and happy to see Anthony play well and play his role. Man U with 2 early goals in the first half. Garnacho on fire after scoring a goal.
That's my standout player.
Yeah.
I mean, recent games, even the goal, like he hit the ball near post, but it was high in the air.
Like that's something you train for.
That's
not something you just smash it. You know you're
you
gonna
know
go
they
near
purposely
post.
do that though because the goalies are waiting for you to go low post.
Yeah,
And it is hard to hit it top post.
yeah.
But he's been doing good the past few days, and I think he's securing that left side position. But he may interchange a little bit into the right because you got Rashford.
The only reason why he didn't play,
honestly, I didn't even notice Rashford wasn't on the field,
and that's a good sign for Garnacho because, he got a red card last game and he didn't really play good last game for the Champions League. The only reason why he scored against Everton at the weekend is because Bruno Fernandes gave him the penalty for him to have. So, at the end of the day, Garnacho, well played, youngster, 19 years old or so, making it happen for his career. So he's really making it happen. Good goal.
Bruno assisted him.
Bruno Fernandes, and then soon after, a
Bro.
bombastic.
Bro, bombi, chum zip. That's un bombi, bro.
Sheesh.
And he scores that goal, but he does that in the second half, and he hits the post.
The post. Yeah.
So I gotta say,
And we know.
Bruno had a really good game this game.
We know he has a shot on him.
Yep.
It's not a player to leave hanging, but as we saw, who also has a shot, Mr. Hakim Ziyech, the former Chelsea player, playing
Weak
for
in my
Galatasaray right
opinion. Both free kicks should not have happened that way. Onana needs to step up his game because he's looking like, oh hell no, bro.
Yo, Onana is atrocious, bro. Like past few games, I've seen most clean sheets in the Premier League.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. Now he's trying to punch a ball when it's on the floor. He's moving to the opposite side of the goal when the ball's going one way.
Mind you, these are two players that play with each other.
Right.
As a goalkeeper, you should look at this guy and you should probably kind of like know what this guy is gonna do, But
conversely, Ziyech might know, this guy likes to dive to
True
the
that.
side as soon as he sees a left-footed player going on this side. So
That's
you
a
know what
good
I'm going to
point.
do? I'm going to make sure that he thinks I'm going that way. I'm going to put it right where he's not, where he should be. Because as a goalie, regardless of who's shooting, you trust your wall. You trust your defenders, the one that you placed in a certain position to block the ball. If they can't get it, then you dive. You don't move to the other side to leave this other side exposed where no one's blocking it.
yeah,
So
and
it's
then him
Onana all the way.
stepping in, it's already too late to come
Already
back.
too late, bro.
Like I said, weak free kick, but he gets the goal. That's all that matters.
And that gets Galatasaray back into the game
Yeah.
at 2-1. If you leave these teams that are scrappy, that will fight with you, that will go head-to-head regardless of who they're facing, if you leave them in the game, they'll fight their way and claw back into the game.
Trust. After that, Wan-Bissaka with the assist for McTominay. McTominay's coming up big. He's scoring goals for club and country. But after that, 3-1, Galatasaray find a way. And second goal, Ziyech again with the free kick.
From an outrageous angle, more of
It was
cross.
pretty far.
Yeah, it looked more of a cross, a low cross to me that no one got to.
Yep.
And the ball's got to be half a foot above the floor, and Onana's over there trying to punch it, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on over here? I've never seen it. Punching is out and up.
Yep.
You never do an uppercut to the ball.
So I have some
Onana's just
stats for that.
crazy.
Bro.
Let me hear him.
So United have conceded 14 goals in Champions League this season.
In 5 games.
Yep. The most any English team in the competition.
They still have a game to go.
Still have a game to go against Bayern.
Oh, my days.
But look at this. Fam, they have the third most goals in the Champions League scored, and they're in last in their group. How do you do that, fam?
It takes some real talent. It literally takes some real talent to score them almost the most and have the most conceded against you and still be in last.
Yeah, it's kind of shameful, bro. dude, if they don't score that many, concede that many goals, they go to higher position. There's no reason why they shouldn't go into Copenhagen and think, all right, we can win this. Bro, Copenhagen's in second place right now. They just held a 0-0 draw against Bayern. And now they got to go against Galatasaray. Dude, all they need is a tie.
That's all they need. All Copenhagen need is a tie.
And it could happen.
Well, it really depends. Because if Man U beat Bayern, then Man U will go through if they tie against Copenhagen.
That is true.
And Galatasaray.
But I don't actually, you know what? It could happen. Maybe Bayern doesn't put the best lineup.
Come in first.
They don't put the best lineup, but knowing Bayern, bro, I believe they still will come out strong.
They have that ruthless nature in them where, we're undefeated. You know, we have enough points to finish in first anyway. But we're going to start Harry Kane, Sané, and Gnabry and Musiala, and we'll have a proper starting 11, and we're going to put you away 5-0.
Yeah.
They have that nature in them. But, hey, cheers to Galatasaray. They kept themselves in the game. They tied it up.
Assists, too. 2 goals and an assist.
Man of the match, bro.
I think so, too.
It's good to see that he's performing at Galatasaray. Good to see Zaha still making appearances in the Champions League. I know that was his dream. That's why he left Crystal Palace.
Coming back, though, he was a former United player.
Yeah.
He's playing against a familiar side. I thought Zaha had a pretty decent game.
Yeah, it came off at the end. A little disappointed because he had just recently missed a shot.
Yep.
But the guy who came in and scored the third goal for Galatasaray. You know how to say his name? Artakoglu?
Artakoglu. Yeah. It was a good.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
I watched him play in the previous games. He usually starts like center attacking mid. He is a good player.
It was a good shot, especially how the ball was given to him. He took a touch with the outside of his foot, and he took his chance and he scored.
Put it nice and high, and no chance for Onana. But 3-3 thrilling match, up and down.
Now you gotta hope for other teams to do certain things for you, and that's the worst thing you can do in a tournament. You go in, get your results, but now you have to sit in the background hoping things happen in your favor. And
it's kind of like what happened when Man City won their first title, 2012. Was that then? Man U was literally waiting against Sunderland because they had just beaten them 2-0. Now they're waiting for QPR to hopefully beat Man City or tie them, which they were. Then all of a sudden, things is not in your hands. When you don't have control of your fate, somebody else can destroy your dreams for you. And at the end of the day, this was what is likely to happen. They are most likely going to lose to Bayern. But even if they do beat Bayern, if either Copenhagen or Galatasaray win the game, Man U are knocked out of the Champions League. And when you're looking at a team, at the beginning, we all had Bayern and Man U to go through because you're looking at Galatasaray and Copenhagen as these weaker teams.
So they got to pray for a tie.
They got to pray for a tie. Pray or pay for a tie.
Nah, not pay. Not pay. Pay, get your ass kicked out until the next few years, even if you make the top 4. Right. But, Bruno said in a press conference, we conceded very bad goals.
Just go and say Onana cost us the game, because that's really what it was.
I mean, as teammates, bro, you should never say that, but you know what he's saying.
Yeah, Bruno, I'll say it for you. Onana cost you the game. Cost your team the game. As a captain, I know you got a sugarcoat little thing for your team, but he lost you the game. He lost you the Champions League, and he's most likely going to lose the top 4 for you.
Damn, that's harsh, bro. But it's the truth. I don't think he's been performing. But I guess in the Premier League, he has a lot of clean sheets now. But I don't know. His individual base, I don't think he's, performing.
Inconsistent, man. A team that's looking to hit the top 4 needs to be consistent, and goalies are a good position to start being consistent. And so they're gonna have to figure it out. Can't wait till the next Champions League match, the last Champions League match.
That's gonna be interesting to watch. We gotta watch that one.
Definitely gonna have to keep our eyes on multiple screens.
Yep. But now we're gonna go on to Juve versus Inter. I gotta say, growing up, I was a fan of both sides.
Yeah.
even especially back in the day, Inter, you know how they were, the powerhouse.
Back when Mourinho and them.
Yep.
Etzel was there. Even Ibra was there. Maicon, Zanetti, Walter Samuel.
Cambiaso, and all these guys. I mean, we could keep going on and on.
Who's that forward? Milito.
Crespo.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, Milito, I loved him a lot, bro. He had a run, bro. He was pretty good, especially in the Champions League. I think he's the reason why they won. Oh, yeah. Remember Schneider, too. Schneider was over there. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Juve, being the team that they are, they're not the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? They used to be like the PSG, the Bayern of Serie A, and now, you know, you got other teams that's pulling through, like Napoli, Inter, Inter Milan and AC Milan.
Yeah.
So I think it's good as far as entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we always want to see, you know, competition at these top leagues. Like, we never want to see Man City winning every year or PSG winning every year. We want to see competition, and it's great to see that teams that used to be on the top level of the game, like AC Milan and Inter Milan, come back and compete again, like going deep into the Champions League last year for both of those squads.
Yeah. I thought Inter Milan put a good lineup. Their lineup was the same formation Juve played, but just on paper, that lineup looked strong. And the 2 forwards that they have right now seem like they have a good partnership. And even in the midfield looked compact a bit. But what's your feeling about the formation in the game?
I think Italian football, that's just how they play. 3 in the back or 5 in the back, but those 2 outside wingers are really like midfielders in a sense because they're going to go up and down. And especially for Inter, Denzel Dumfries and DeMarco, that's their style of play. They're going to go up and down all game.
I love DeMarco.
I love
he's
both of
really
them,
good, bro.
Hey,
yeah, Dumfries too.
He has is really lethal, but that's how they play. And even Juventus, they looked a little bit more weaker on paper, I should say, but
they pulled with the result.
They pulled with the result, man, and you know they have some suspensions and some people that are ineligible to play, but you know the style of play. I think Italian football, they call it slower paced, but I think this game was fast paced and all to play for. This is the Derby d'Italia, you know what I'm saying? This is something that goes back almost 100 years when they first played, and the rivalry always continued, even when you know, Juventus had that scandal back in 2005, 2006.
Yep.
Where, you know, they got caught paying refs and stuff and they got demoted to the 2nd division. That's where Inter got awarded the league title. And that's where things started to heat up even more.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was young, by the way. And I remember Del Piero was one of the guys that stayed on the team.
Yeah.
And, speaking of Del Piero, man, that dude was everything to that team, too. That dude did everything.
Everything, bro. Big respect. Because a lot of players left to go to big clubs.
He was a great forward, bro.
Bro, legend, man. Legend in Italian football. Legend
for
at Juventus.
The nation, too. Like, bro, he did a lot, man.
Legend for the game, man. When you hear this guy's name, then Del Piero.
Del Piero.
Di Natale. Del Piero is... You'll know... Juventus. Like, when you think about Roma, you think about Totti.
Yeah.
When you think about Juventus, Del Piero.
100%. Was he a one-club player?
One-club player,
yeah,
man,
see?
until he went to, like, the MLS for a little bit.
Yeah. Del Piero went to the MLS.
I believe so, in L.A. Did he go to...
Nah, I don't think.
Retired at Juventus?
I can't tell you, fam. I think he's a one-club player, bro. I'm not going to lie.
What a guy. Loyalty runs deep, man.
Yep.
But... yeah, man. Every player had a little red paint on their face to as a sign to stand up against domestic violence, which I thought was pretty cool. And I saw a lot of people in the stands having it as well. And the stands, the fans actually were really into this game. First half, I thought it was gonna be just cagey fouls and this, that, and the other, but it was really proper football. You can see combination play. You saw the goal. Chiesa and Vlahovic combining again. I love that combination.
And then Turan combining with Martinez.
Yeah. I mean, Turan and Martinez are lighting it up right now. 13 goals in 13 matches for Lautaro Martinez. League leader right now in goals. And Marcus Thuram, 9 assists. And he's the type of guy that's going to do all the dirty work. Like, I love forwards like him. Like, he's supposed to be scoring to us, but he's doing the dirty work that the team needs. Like, he can play in the left wing for France. He's playing on the right-hand side most of the time for Inter, but it's him and Lautaro combining, and you would think Thuram is a bigger player. He should be in the middle, but
he got some pace on him too.
He got some pace, man. That's why you gotta know your teammates and find that chemistry and play to their strengths and not just to your strengths, bro.
Yep. But what else? Who was some players that stood out to you in that game?
I think Çalhanoğlu really does well in that defensive mid position. I'm really used to him playing center attacking mid growing up.
Center mid, yeah.
Center mid, more advanced role than what he's playing now. But now when he gets his ball, he gets that ball and he knows, and he's a lot more poised, kind of like Cruz. Like, he's not going to go and make those darting runs anymore, but he's going to dictate the play. You know what I'm saying? And Mkhitaryan, I love the way he has legs on him. He's still running, man, even in those Arsenal days and Man U days when he was running like a madman. He's still doing the same thing for Inter, and I'm happy to see it for him because he was one of the guys that we really thought was going to make a big impact in his career. And
oh, yeah, bro.
Maybe he didn't do it like we did, but
the Dortmund days, bro.
The
Dortmund days, bro. Dude, I believe he even played for Shakhtar.
Did he?
Before. I'm not sure. I think he did, but yo, those Dortmund days, bro, yo, he was nasty, fam. Yo, speed, shot, everything. But, yeah, yo, good replacement, though, because what was his name that went to Saudi Arabia? Brozovic,
yeah.
You know, yeah, yo, he's playing good, man, right now. He's playing good. A good replacement for him. And he could play anywhere, like you said, in the midfield. But, yeah, good game, man.
Good game. Up and down, intense, edgy. Both teams played all for it, even in the second half. It got a little bit more scrappy, a little bit more fouls, yellow cards, which is what I expected in the first half. But, you know, what do you expect in the derby match? You're going to see some fights. You're going to see some talking back, yellow cards and stuff like that. But it was good to see everything ended peaceful. And a 1-1 draw has both these teams sitting at the top of the table.
Yeah. Inter's still in first and Juve sitting in second. But, yeah, good. I think it's a good result for the both of them. I think a point is well-deserved on both ends. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. Let us know if you liked all the segments that we chose in this week. And like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.